What's up? What's up? I didn't like that. Did not like that delivery. As soon as the first "What's up" came out, I'm like,
the tone was somehow off. You know, it sounds the same every single fucking week.
What's up? What's up? Real MVPs. See that one, Dave? That just I felt a little hitch in the step. Like, you know, like you're working on your shot, Dave. You're working on your shot. There was just a little hitch in it. Yeah, a little hitch in the "What's up? What's up?" But what's up? What's up, guys? Real MVPs. Welcome in to an MVP Sports Live, a very special one. As Dave, my beautiful co-host, Dave, how you doing?
Okay.
Very special one because Dave, how many days are we away from the NBA draft?
We are 25 hours away from the NBA draft.
I mean, technically 24. The NBA draft would be starting now. It starts at 6 Central Time.
I thought it was 7:30.
No, 6 Central Time. The broadcast starts. The official broadcast starts.
It doesn't fucking happen until like the 30th.
Once the broadcast starts, the draft starts.
No, that's not the draft start. The start of the draft is when the Timberwolves are on the clock.
The point is, Dave, less than 24 hours until we are live.
Greater than 24 hours.
No. Until we're live for the draft, because we'll be live at 5:45 Central Time.
We hope. You might be live.
Internet cuts.
Yes, a Comcast might decide that.
I mean, a thunderstorm may roll through and go, no, fuck your draft.
Jinx us. Let me check the weather.
No, it's supposed to be good. It's supposed to be a little cold, but it's supposed to warm up on Thursday, Friday. That's what I heard. 60s. 60s is good.
Yeah, Wednesday night, 50.
Yeah, it's supposed to warm up.
Thursday, Friday, yeah, really nice.
It's supposed to be really good. But, guys, welcome in. We got a lot of basketball today. A lot of shit went down. As soon as Dave went to bed, shit went down. Were you awake for the Jrue holiday? Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
I woke up to Jrue and Roco news, and I was like, wow. That's pretty cool.
Shit. JD said it started to snow in Canada today. Yikes.
What up, Eric?
Yikes.
What up, Tim?
But yeah, we got a full basketball show with a little sprinkle, like not even a sprinkling. It's a sprinkle of football. Just one single sprinkle.
I would prefer not to talk about football.
I mean, we've got to mention it, Dave. It's got to be mentioned. But it's all basketball today. Before we get into everything, though, if you're not in the greatest community on the internet, I'm actually going to shout out somebody who I mentioned to you and Dave, or to you and Soapy Dave, did the full round. I love people that do the full round. You got to do the complete round though, and follow Dave and Soapy on Twitter as well. But this guy followed me. I got the notification for that. Got the notification that he followed us, and I'm looking at it right now 2 hours ago on Twitch, and then got the notification in Discord that he joined is Milfence. Milfence, welcome to the community. If you want to join the Discord, be like Milfence. Link down below on YouTube, ! Discord into Twitch, get you into that the best community. It's the best community on the internet. You won't be disappointed.
Trump hands it. Yep.
You got to Trump hands. You got to Trump hands before 2021. But if you want to support us, love what we do, patreon.com/MVP vids. That's how you do that. Link down below or ! Patreon to get that into Twitch chat for you. We're on Twitch every Monday through Friday, twitch.tv/MVP vids. We're on YouTube at MVP Sports. And if you want to watch the draft with us, we'll be live tomorrow, Wednesday, November 18th, 5:45 Central Time for the start of the NBA draft. And we'll be watching it alongside with you guys on Twitch. Soapy will even be with us. So it'll be the three of us watching the draft along with you. Dave, got a jam-packed show. Before we start, though, we have to mention it.
You have to pimp.
No. This is the actual show now.
Oh, okay.
This is the actual show. Okay. I'm just saying, like, we have to mention it. There was a football game last night. The Vikings won.
In the comments section, Ben, the Celtics fan, talking about he might tune in tomorrow, but he's afraid he'll be delayed on his TV. Look, I'm just going to say this up front because we did discuss it. We're going to avoid Twitter on our stream, so we are not going to look at Twitter. If you spoil in comments, we hate you, and I might block you temporarily. I might give you.
We'll time out spoilers. Like if you're spoiling picks, we'll time you out. I have no replica. I'm sorry.
So don't worry about that.
Yeah, we want the live reactions with you guys. But Dave,
talking about this horrible fucking event that happened last night.
Not a lot to say. We were both wrong in the picks, which. There's a side of me that's like, woo, we won. But then there's a side of me of like, boo, we won. Mainly because Kirk Cousins looks good. And I just got to continue to bash Kirk Cousins. That's what I need to do. Because the longer I bash Kirk Cousins, the better he plays. So Viking fans, I'm going to take one for the team. I'm going to take one. Kirk, I'm bashing him. Like, I'm just going to be a Kirk hater the rest of the year, and hopefully he plays like a god, because I absolutely hate him. Like, I will die on that. I will die on that sword if I have to, Dave, if it means he's playing well. I know you will, because Nick Foles got injured in that game. We'll talk about that, though, later in the week, because we're not going to talk about it today.
He got hurt. It was the last fucking minute of the game because he can't move. He's immobile. He is got to be one of the slowest men I've ever seen. The Bears' offensive line is basically 5 of you standing out there trying your damnedest to not get this man killed. I don't know what to say. Like, I fucking what? Like, the Bears' offense got out fucking produced by the Bears' special teams and defense this game. Yeah, I think in the second half, they had 14 yards of offense.
Patterson had a 104-yard kick return?
104-yard kick return.
Yeah.
I don't even like the guy, but that's why I'm just pissed.
At least it wasn't a rushing touchdown. Could you imagine if you got a rushing touchdown, Dave?
How much longer will our defense try? Because last year it was around this point in the year where we were just like,
fuck it.
Oh, so you guys aren't doing shit? Well, then neither are we. Like, if the offense isn't trying, then we're not trying. Like, there's only so much abuse you can take. And I feel so bad for our defense right now because Roquan's a Pro Bowler. Khalil Mack's getting pressure. I mean, he's not getting the sack numbers, but that's okay. His impact on the field is visible. Like, we're having great play left and right, and even down to the fucking wire. Like the last couple of run plays where you guys tried to kill clock with Dalvin Cook.
Couldn't get him in the end zone though. Lost my fantasy game because of it. So whatever. 1-1 in fantasy this week.
Like our defensive linemen, we're still fucking yapping with him when we're. Like, they know that the Bears are going to get the ball back and do nothing with it, but they're out there yapping with them after they stuffed him at the line. I'm like, these guys are fucking great. Like, you got to admit, we shut Dalvin Cook up, and Dalvin Cook was in the MVP consideration with his numbers going into this week.
He had 2 great weeks.
Yeah, and then the Bears brought him back down to fucking reality.
I mean, the Bears are just a good defense, Dave. I was worried about Dalvin Cook for this one. But yeah, it's had to mention it. Yeah, had to mention it. JD said he loves Justin Jefferson because he helped him in fantasy this week. Dave knows. Dave knows. Let's cheer you up, though, Dave. Let's go into some basketball. And
I'm not done ranting. I can just a smidge more.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
As a
get it all out, Dave.
Post-game interview, Matt Nagy needs to be fired on the stage in front of the reporters. Like the fact that didn't happen brings concern to me. I understand it's a bye week.
The owner just comes out and says, "Oh, by the way, this guy's without a job." Go.
And the McCaskies need to fire Nagy. They need to fire Pace. Put Pagano in there as the temp. I'm sorry, not temp is the wrong word. Interim, thank you. The interim head coach, and I don't know who has to call plays for us because clearly it doesn't matter what play. Like the problem might be just the playbook is so stupid. It doesn't matter who calls the plays. If you're picking off of a sheet of dumb calls, you can't make the right call. Like maybe that's the problem. I'm so angry.
My favorite play, Dave, happened to end the fucking game. Where it wouldn't have mattered anyways, but it was like with 8 seconds left. Fucking, I think this was when Bray was in. Like, there's an out route with the tight end, and it's 4th and 10. Quarterback throws it 10 yards. It's like the tight end only went 7. It's like, we need 10, right?
It was. I'm so unhappy with this Bears team.
Tyler Bray was like, "Fuck it, you're wrong. I'm throwing it 10 yards because that's what we need. I don't care where you are."
Just about where you should have been. Clearly, I know as the 3rd string quarterback where you need to be. To be fair, I think it might have been Cole Kmet, so he might be right.
I think it was Cole Kmet.
What I've seen out of his route running, I would not be shocked.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's brutal. As a Bears fan, we knew that we weren't a 5-1 team that was legitimate, but like now I'm like, I saw the meme online and it's like 5-1, and then it's like unlocks and it's like 5-11, and I'm like, is that our future? Is that where we're going?
Means you get a really good draft pick. Maybe you're in the Trey Lance discussion at the end of the year.
I don't want Trey Lance.
You're like, I want Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields.
I would take one of those two. I would take an offensive tackle and trade for Sam Darnold.
Sewell would be really nice. Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, Bears talk later this week. We got basketball. Football hurt me enough yesterday. I don't need to talk more.
Let's move on, though, Dave. The first thing we're talking about is one of the big trades that went down as Dave went to sleep. It was funny because Demon and Philly Sean and I, put the same tweet into Discord, and then he deleted his because mine was first. So I had to reply with the gif of I won because I was the first to put it in there. But the Bucks are getting, first they trade for Jrue Holiday, where the Pelicans, I'm looking at the ESPN article, they sent Drew Bledsoe, George Hill, 3 first-round picks. I'm sorry. Eric Bledsoe, George Hill, 3 first-round picks, a 2021, which we'll talk about later. That's the pick they got from Indiana. And then unprotected picks in 2025 and 2027. It looks like David Griffin's doing the same thing Sam Presti did.
Was there a swap in there as well?
There are swaps. The in-between years are swaps.
Yeah, so it's legit on the level of a Paul George kind of deal, which is nuts.
Yeah, and then later in the night, because it was Roco, which we're talking about later, he got traded. Then 10 minutes later, it was Jrue. Then later it was by the way, the Bucks are getting a sign and trade for Bogdanovich, where they are sending White Dante DiVincenzo. I am so I can't wait to see how good he looks in a Kings jersey. I might get a Kings jersey that on the back just says White Dante on it.
That's understandable.
They send White Dante, DJ Wilson, and Ersan Ilyasova to the Kings. The Kings, I guess they're not keeping Bogdan. Bogdan's with the Bucks. So, Dave, I don't want to ask the question of, is this enough to keep Giannis Antetokounmpo? I don't want to ask that. I want to ask, is this enough? No. Is this enough to win with Giannis Antetokounmpo? Because I kind of have a suspicion that this team still might lose in the second round of the playoffs, even with these two.
I think the arm's going out to the side. You just flaring up the wing. Just flap away there. Just flap away. Look, these were both good additions to the team. Now, the cost definitely cause for concern on that Jrue Holiday deal. Again, you want to say it's an overpay, but you don't know what the other offers out there. I mean, we heard that the Celtics offered Jason Tatum, Kemba Walker, Jaylen Brown, 3 first-round picks this year, and 17 first-round picks over the next 4 years, and they still turned it down. So, let's be honest.
Dave, he wanted to add more picks. He wanted to trade Kemba Walker for more picks to add those picks to the deal.
Right, and that's all according to my sources, Kevin O'Connor.
Yeah.
Just want to get the right word too. That man does live rent free in my head. Who want to be honest?
Kevin O'Connor lives rent free.
He lives rent free in my head. It does seem like a lot, though. The Paul George deal is kind of like where it came from. It's kind of the framework. You're like, all right, so value wise, where's he at versus what's this deal going to look like? And obviously, with Jrue Holiday not signing a long term deal as part of this, an extension at least, it does raise some questions, but. It was clearly a shift for an all-in here. They understand the circumstances of Giannis, his pending free agency, and the pressure that they're under to they're going to sign him to a max contract. That was always going to happen. He was never going to hit free agency. It was always the plan of he would sign a max and then demand an out. Yeah. So whether that happens or not, I don't think that in a week if Giannis signs a max deal, that people are going to suddenly be like, oh, well, he's staying. Fucking no. That is not a guarantee of anything. The situation is that this team is in a much better position to win with these assets on the team now than they were with Eric Bledsoe and Ersan Ilyasova soaking minutes. Let's just be honest. George Hill played great. Ersan played great. Bledsoe chokes in the playoffs. That's what he does. They're just that team was at its cap. Jrue Holiday and Bogdanovich add exactly what they need. They get a guard who continues to play defense on the Bledsoe level, but also the spacing is massively boosted and the versatility of switching, which they desperately need to do because their defensive scheme got abused at times because people would switch on them and they couldn't retaliate. So I do like the addition of Jrue Holiday. I think that was huge for them. Bogdanovich adds another ball handler to that second unit. So when Giannis is not on the floor, they can run with somebody else who can have the ball in his hands and create for others. Now, the question that you kind of alluded to was, can they win in the East?
They
As
can.
It stands today,
they can. Possibly.
As it stands today, I think that they can. If the Nets ahead of James Harden, which I'm sure we'll talk about at some point, that changes it. But like right now in the East, Jrue Holiday, Bogdanovich, Giannis, Chris Mid, and I'm assuming Brook Lopez will be back because that's what Brook Lopez does. That will be enough to compete for a top spot in the East, like 100%. Like I don't see any way that they're not maybe not favorites, but they're not in the top 3 of the East for going to a championship. Like they have all of the right pieces. They've got modern wings. They've got exactly what you're looking for when you want to create a team. So I think that it's a really well composed team. There's still definitely some holes to fill in that bench unit, but
apparently Woj said they could be active tomorrow in trying to buy second-round picks to fill out that bench. And the rumor was the Lakers might be in the same position of like, hey, let's get some second-round guys that we want to hit on. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying this is a fit, but like I would throw out like a Cassius Winston, like a guy who's like, oh, he's a veteran that if I put on this team.
Same vein. It's get me a guy who is older, who may had a couple moments in college basketball under pressure, and looks like he can fit right in at the NBA level. So I agree there. I love the idea of that because again, you are in a contract position where you can't really throw a ton of money around for agency. You're gonna have your exceptions. You're gonna have your ring chaser contracts, but like those deals are kind of sketchy. I like the Killian Tilly mock Ben. I'll be honest. Like that's I've been talking him up a lot lately, so we'll see what happens there. But
you know who's the guy they're trying to get, and I know that some people roll their eyes, but it's like absolutely true. And this guy is undrafted, but like what the Bucks need to try to get is their Alex Caruso. Of like for the Lakers, I didn't expect him to show up like he did for some good times in the playoffs, but he was a guy undrafted, 4 years at College Station at Texas A&M, and you know he played good minutes for the Lakers in the playoffs when they needed him. So like that's the kind of guys they're going to add. Like I agree with you. Can the Bucks win? Yes. Will they win? No. That's where I'm at. And the reason why is this trade to me, first off, to get the issue out of the way of overpaying, because like Tim said earlier when we started the Bucks conversation, he said, I think they gave up too much, but a good addition to the team. If they win, it's worth it. That's the thing. If they win a title, whatever. It's kind of like the Cubs with what I've been hearing on Twitter with Theo Epstein. It's like, oh, well, you know, it was a bust because you didn't win so many World Series. No, I won one. That's enough for me. Like the Bucks, if they win one title with this core, boom, it's enough. We got that one title. And I know people then get greedy. You want to win more titles, but I feel like this trade, it's not a trade of like, oh, these two put them above everyone else. It's, oh, these two people brought them up to the level to where it's like before this, it's like, well, I favor the Celtics, the Heat, the Nets, even with KD and Kyrie above the Bucks. Now with these two, it's like, okay, the Bucks are up to that level of like, well, they could lose in the second round to the Heat, but it's a closer series. Like, I'm not saying it's a for sure loss or a for sure choke job like I would before. But
as it stands today, I would put them over a team like the Heat.
Okay. What about the Celtics? Would you put them over a team like the Celtics?
Oh, of course I put them over the Celtics. Gordon Hayward doesn't want to be there. Kemba Walker's a scumbag. Like, of course they're better than the Celtics.
All right. It's really then the Nets, and if they get Harden in your mind.
Well, that's a dumb thing. Like, are we really thinking that low of the two-time reigning MVP of the NBA that Harden coming off of an Achilles injury is going to be better than him? Like when you say it out loud, it sounds dumb, but like I understand who Kevin Durant is at the same time. Yeah. Like that's Kevin Durant.
And the last part to it is, and this goes to what Eric said in Twitch chat that I agree with. He goes, as a Lakers fan, Eric's a Laker fan, if you guys don't know, they could all try to stack their teams and still lose. If I'm the Warriors or the Lakers, those are the only two teams in the West that I can do this with. I'm sitting there going, I don't care who the Bucks bring after me. I favor the Lakers. I favor the Warriors if it's a Laker Bucks or Warriors Bucks finals. Like, they have a better chance of getting out of the East, although I would still favor like a I would probably still favor the Celtics in a best of 7 as of right now. We'll see what happens when we get to the playoffs of next year. But if it's Lakers and fucking Warriors against the Bucks, I'm not favoring the Bucks in that finals.
Oh, it depends how the playoffs are going. It's a very much heat of the moment kind of decision for me. Like, I don't think I would have picked the Heat to be favored to go into the NBA Finals
not the beginning of the year
before the start of the bubble. But like once the bubble hit, it was like these kids can fucking cook. Like they are. Yeah. Like we knew what Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, Kendrick Nunn were all capable of. But the way they put together the timing, the way they used Iggy coming back, like shit, even Damari Carroll came up big for them in moments. It was like, oh, this team's they're in a groove. Like there's a reason why they were able to cruise through the playoffs where they were at. So, I mean, I understand that like you want preseason predictions to be good, but I think that very much you have to put the playoffs in a bubble of their own. And it's the hot team coming in. It's the hot hand. It's who's in a heater right now. And you know what? If Giannis is dropping 40, 15, and 10, like who the fuck stops him?
And the only thing I'm going to correct you, did you mean Jay Crowder instead of Damari Carroll? Okay. I just wanted to get that out there in case people are like, oh, dumbass, you just figured it. The keyboard warriors. I want to stop them.
My mind. There are 3 who's too old.
Ben, the Celtics fan, says something you would like, Dave. Killian Tilly could be someone they look for, the Bucks, that is, in the second round to try to add. But, like, yeah, this is a deal that, yes, the Bucks gave up a lot, but also on the flip side of this, I threw this out in the Discord last night when we were talking about it, of did the Pelicans sit there, and yet again, later in the show when we draft section, we'll talk about the Pelicans and what they now do with their new first-round pick. But, like, did David Griffin sit there and go, okay, I will take Bledsoe for you, but because this is such a shit contract, I'm going to need those picks, like you said, like what we saw in I believe you said the Paul George deal, of like, you have to give me all these picks because I am taking a contract so bad for you and doing you such this godly favor of getting him off this team that, yes, I'm going to need this year's pick, 2 future firsts, and 2 swaps in between those years.
I hate to do this to you, Ricky.
Yeah.
But the disrespect to Bogdan Bogdanović in your title card is embarrassing me.
Bogdan. Isn't it?
It's an A.
Oh,
Bogdan.
I'm sorry. I keep doing that with him and the Bogdanović. It's I keep thinking they're O's. I'm sorry, Bogdan. But yeah, sorry, Dave. I misspelled it, so I'm sorry for the Bogdan. I'll fix that for YouTube, Dave. Happy? What?
I don't.
What, the follower thing that I banned?
Well, no, the other one.
Oh. Oh, okay. Sorry. But going on with the Pelicans, Dave, did they have to give up this much because they were the Pelicans were taking Bledsoe?
Yeah, I mean, the problem is that they're late first. Like, the expectation is that, assuming Jrue Holiday helps keep Giannis in-house, I think that pick 22 through 30 has a pretty low value to it. Now, I understand they're going a couple years in the future on some of those later picks. Like, I think you said 2025?
25 and 27.
So, there's a chance by 2027. I hate to say it, Milwaukee, but Giannis may or may not be on that team. He might not be competing for a championship at that point. So that pick could pay dividends for the Pelicans long term. So again, when we're talking such a late first rounder, like there are first round values and then there are late first round values. Now it's are we talking early lotto, like that 1 through 10 section where it's juicy, that mid range, or that late? Now obviously the late firsts have value, but obviously not on the same level. Like we saw Dennis Schroeder basically get traded for the 27th, 28th pick overall. So like it's not a
Danny
worthless
Green
pick.
in the 28th.
Yeah, so it's not a worthless pick, but like at the same time, it's not incredibly valuable. So that's why we're seeing the quantity here is the gamble that the Bucks think that, hey, Giannis here for the next decade. He's our guy. He's never leaving. So those picks are always going to suck. So we have to give up 3. And on the other side, you got the Pelicans going, that dude's fucking gone. And when he's gone, we're going to cash in on some really juicy picks at 2025 and 2027.
Well, because like you mentioned, and this is the last thing I'll mention with this, is Jrue Holiday is the linchpin in this because He's got this year and then next year's a player op, I believe. That's it. He's done unless they re-sign him. The only positive with these trades is Bogdan is fucking like, because it's a sign and trade, it'll probably be a 3-4 year deal. I'm thinking like a 4-year deal. He'll at least be here for 2 more years past Jrue Holiday.
Yeah, no, I love the pickup too. Bogdanovich is really good. He's one of my favorite players.
Thought the Kings were all in on keeping him, Dave. Thought the Kings were all in, matching whatever offer.
Ricky,
is Luke Walton done? Is Luke Walton fired? Is this team entering a rebuild, like a real rebuild? Again,
Buddy Hield wouldn't award winner. Put some respect on what happens to him. He was the odd man out last year. He was the guy who put his ass to the pine pony. Now, how do you come back from that? Like, you got benched for Bogdanovich last year, and that's cute that you shoot 10 threes a game and somehow make more than 4 of them a game. Like, that's cute and all, but like, we're going to go with the European player who can bounce the ball a couple times because you're not capable of doing that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I don't know how you come back from that. Like, Luke Walton, there's no way he finishes the season as the head coach of this Kings team. We talked about the hiring of assistant coaches over there for a reason, because they're going to take over the team when he is inevitably fired. Obviously, there are a lot of questions. I don't know that this means Buddy Hield is safe.
Yeah,
I could see them being like,
we still think he's going to get moved. Like, he's been in trade talks forever.
That's my thought. Is like, is he still going to trade bait for a draft night? Like, is this another deal waiting to happen?
Yeah.
Are they going to pick up another shooting guard somewhere? Could it be a Maxey? Could it be a Devin Vassell? Could it be who? Yeah. That's my question. Is like, where do the Kings go from here? Because I've heard rumors abound. I've heard everything from he's going to go to the Magic for Aaron Gordon to he's going to go to I think my favorite one was he's going to the Pistons for a Blake Griffin deal. Okay. And I'm like, I want to hear Soapy just recoil. Like, sure.
That doesn't match a Pistons timeline at all.
I mean, why not? It just because Buddy Hield is like 29.
Yeah,
I know he's not 29, but he was an old ass man when he hit the NBA, and obviously the year thing. It's fun memes.
Yeah.
Point being, I don't understand what the Kings are doing. I great on them for going out and trading, but like they had Nemanja Bjelica out there, and they add Ersan Ilyasova, so they've got 2 European bigs who shoot the ball from deep. Great. What are they doing? They've got fucking 7 big men right now, like on that roster.
And I mean,
I don't understand.
I guess the
is
thing
Harrison Barnes going to get moved next? Is Buddy Hield? Is anyone safe on this Kings team? Who is their core other than De'Aaron Fox?
I don't think anyone is safe. Like, I don't even think De'Aaron Fox is safe, because the thing that you got to think is Monty McNair coming in from the Rockets. I think his mindset is, and he proved it with this trade, of none of you are safe. None of you are my guys. Luke Walton ain't even my coach. Right now, the only 2 people that will be safe is whoever I get in the draft and Alvin Gentry, because I'm bringing it. Like, I am for sure thinking that Walton is fired and Gentry is going to be the head coach of this team. There's no reason you bring him onto the staff if that's not the case. Like, he will be. At some point it's happening. Tim says, does Bagley get traded? If the offer's right, yeah. Like,
bag man, get paid.
That's one where it's like that depends on an offer for me. But like, to me, if I'm McNair,
he's so low. He's not been healthy in 2 years.
Name anyone on this team where the value was super high besides Bogdan. Okay, like him and Fox. Fox and Bogdan are the only 2.
Buddy hasn't done anything. The problem is that the whole league knows Buddy Hield hates Luke Walton.
Yeah.
Luke Walton hates Buddy Hield. So therefore, they're going to try to rip them off.
Down.
Yeah. So, like, Buddy Hield is still one of the best 3-point shooters in the NBA, and, like, other teams know that. So there's value there, but outside of those 2 players, I don't know. Like, it's sketchy.
The other trade that happened, Dave, that happened actually before the Jrue Holiday trade, Roco got traded. So we're going to talk about the Rockets part of this. The Rockets, we're going to push to the side because there's a topic after this that is all Rockets. So the Rockets we'll leave alone for right now, but the Blazers, to me, this was interesting because it's twofold. So Roco gets moved from the Rockets. He goes to Portland. Trevor Ariza comes back to Houston, along with the 16th overall pick in this year's draft and the 2021. It's a 2021 protected pick from the Portland for next year. Goes to the Rockets. And to me, this was interesting because, one, everything we've heard about the 2021 picks. Like, so it's protected. So like if the Trailblazers do get injured or something God foreseen happens, at least they keep their pick. But there's a side of me that goes, if next year's draft is supposed to be as good and deep as we think it's going to be, how much is that going to affect the Blazers? But at the same time, the Blazers are a team in my mind of the one thing they needed. Now, is Roco this guy? We'll have to wait and see. If you get matched up against a Clippers, if you get matched up against a Warriors, against a Lakers, you need somebody to be like, he's going after the top guy. The LeBron, the LeBron, the Curry, the Kawhi Leonard. Wow. This guy is defending him every game, every minute. Roco gives them that guy. Will it pay off? Who knows?
Dude, this is awesome. We talked about, I brought him up in our mock draft discussion.
5.0.
Like, yeah. And I was like, he's gone. Like, obviously the sign is Harden wants out. Westbrook wants out.
Yeah.
Roco and PJ are not far behind because those are two highly valuable role guys who across the top teams in the NBA would kill to have a guy like that. So trading someone like Trevor Ariza and a couple futures, Trevor Ariza means nothing to me. I'm sorry. Yeah. Nothing. Fucking nothing. We're getting Rodney Hood back next year, I hope.
Well, he opted out, or they opted out. Whatever it was a team player. Oh. He's an unrestricted free agent right now, technically.
Oh, okay.
So that's interesting. They could re-sign him, but we don't know.
I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, that happened today.
Our boy Gary Trent Jr. My boy Gary Trent Jr. in the bubble, being the fucking pop-off player that we know him to be and now love him for. Like, you've got a great two-way wing in him. You've got a great two-way wing in Roco. You have CJ and Dame. You got Nurk Dog, and you still have Zach Collins.
Nurk Dog.
I don't know, man. I'm just rolling with it.
So it was a player op. Rodney Hood declined it. It was a $6 million player op.
He's worth more than $6 million. I think he might come back, though. They still got to figure out if they're re-signing Melo.
Yep,
that one would be interesting. True. I mean, this is a playoff team through and through, just with Dame, CJ, Gary Trent Jr., Roco, Nurkic. Like, period. That team is a playoff team in the West. They are incredibly talented, offensively, defensively. Obviously, they suck at the fucking guard position on the defensive side, but like, go ahead and drive into the paint on Roco and Nurkic. Watch yourself get slapped down. Like, that's what's going to happen. We all know it. So I'm a huge fan of what they've done here. I understand the future sacrifice, but they're going all in on this deal, and I don't.
Is it going to pay dividends though?
Lillard and McCollum split up for Portland. Like, they need to do that. Blazers tried to trade for Aaron Gordon, but Orlando said no. King Me saying, like, it is brutal. The combination of Dame and CJ, we all love it. They were Wizards East.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Wizards West.
Yeah. The alphas of the West.
And obviously Portland then mirror-sided to the Wizards, who were Portland East. Like, it was a wonderful tandem they had going when both teams were healthy at the guard position. But I just don't know if they've got the firepower to make it happen. Like, we need to see a jump this year out of Nasir Little. We need to see Anthony Simons be the guy who we all thought he could be. Like, they need their young kids to step up huge for them if this is the roster they're going into next season with. Their top 5 team in the West right now, they could be higher if they all stay healthy. They could be a top 3 team in the West. Honestly, they are a scary fucking team with that addition of Robert Covington. So again, there's so much they're so dependent on the young guys on that team growing that I understand the all-in effort of like, look, CJ contract year, we got to figure out what we're doing. Dame Lillard, obviously, we hope that he is going to be a Trailblazer for life. He loves Portland. Portland loves him. Like, I totally understand that relationship. You don't want to let that go. So if you can find a way to win with him on that team, you pull every string necessary, even if it means trading CJ. I'm still for it.
Yeah, I mean, because like the thing last year, and last year meaning this past year, of the thing that really like fucked up their momentum was Dame getting injured, playing with that injury. I think CJ was also playing with an injury, right? A back injury?
Yeah. It was a spinal injury.
Yeah. So like they were go ahead. Yeah, but they were.
He did a Mike Tyson impression during the interview. Okay. As his back injury, and it was fucking spot on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but they're like both injured. Like if they're healthy, I think this team could win. It's like the thing for me is, like I said at the top of, I love this deal like you do, Dave, because it adds exactly what they needed. Yeah, like and
Bob Covington is just. I mean, it's an
Bob. I haven't heard you say Bob Covington in quite some time. I had no reason to talk about him.
Are you talking? Like, remember, I was going hard into the Bob Covington story.
You said, like, but last time we talked about him, you called him Roco. I forgot that you sometimes call him Bob Covington, which is the best name in sports.
I think it is.
But, like, they need someone to guard those top guys because, like, we saw against the Lakers, they didn't have anyone that could guard LeBron. Now, also, Nurkic being out, like you mentioned, hurt them. Like, with him being back and healthy all year, how will that affect them? The big thing, though, is...
What the fuck is this kid? That's my question. What is Zach Collins to this team?
Good point. Like, he falls into the... Like you mentioned, Nasir Simons, who needs to step up. But also, I think free agency, what are they going to do? Like, Hazonia's got a player op, so we don't know yet what he's going to do. I know that, but, like, he's the only player op remaining because Hood declined his. But you've got... So, basically, Melo... Hood, you now have to re-sign. Whiteside's gone. Just let him walk. You don't fucking need him. The other ones, though, like Jalen Horde, Swanigan, Gabriel Brown, those are kind of like T's and P's. T's and P's guys where it's like bring them back for depth, especially the RFAs. But they're no one that's going to swing the balance. Really, the big two are, do they have enough ammo to bring Hood and Melo back? I think in a worst-case scenario, they bring... Do they? Do you think they need Melo back? I think it doesn't hurt them to bring him back.
Like, here's the thing. It would be a positive for the team if he is in for it. But at the same time, I could see Carmelo Anthony taking a very small deal to play with his good friends. Whether that is in L.A., whether that is in the other side of L.A.,
or it's in Phoenix.
That is in Golden State, whether that is in Phoenix.
Jesus Christ, I hate you.
Whether that's in... Honestly, Miami.
Good point. Yeah. Or
whether that's in New York, Brooklyn side, obviously.
Oh, okay. He comes home, but the other side.
I mean, if the Knicks offer him a big deal, he'd probably take it. Let's be honest. That's Carmelo Anthony. Big deal. Don't care about the team.
Yeah.
I think he goes ring chasing. Yeah. I don't know which team he favors, but I could see him choosing his friends. I think
it's got to be LeBron. It's got to be LeBron or CP3. Like, you didn't even mention Phoenix.
I did say Phoenix.
Did you? Okay, I didn't think I heard Phoenix.
They were after Golden State.
Okay, yeah, like I think it's either playing with CP3 or playing with LeBron. I think it's Team Banana Boat. That's what it is. That's who he goes to.
That's again, he had a great season. Obviously, the Blazers gave him an opportunity where no other team was willing to. So he might owe them in some people's minds, but I think it's ultimately up to him. I don't think he should feel any whatever about picking a different team and leaving Trailblazers after proving that he still has it.
Yeah, because Milfence brings up, like you said, the Melo to Miami. Here's the only thing that kind of makes it go about Miami is, now I'm not saying Melo doesn't have the work ethic, but could there be a possibility of a Jimmy Melo like friction, or am I looking like at something that's not there? That wouldn't
Before
be there.
This year, I would have said yes, but he worked out really hard to get in great shape for the bubble, and he had great performances there. And I think that the work ethic is there. I think he might have fallen into a lull, at the end of his time in New York. But like he did seem like he was busting his ass. So I don't think it would be a huge problem for him to be added to Miami.
Yeah, I mean, because that's one that would work. It's just like for me, it's important too to look up we talked about it with CP3. He's got 2 years left this year in a player op, I believe we said with CP3, to where exactly of like, I think what could happen is he picks either Phoenix or LA, plays with them. Then around the time CP3 deal is up, that's where it's like LeBron and him kind of map out, okay, we're all free agents at the same time. let's get Team Banana Boat minus D Wade because he's retired. Or Jesus, I'm not even going to speak that into existence, Dave. He ain't coming out of retirement, Dave. He would for LeBron, but I don't think LeBron's like, dude, stay home.
You're fine. For 2 years, and LeBron's going to sign with whatever kid his team's on.
Dave, I've got it. LeBron, CP3, Melo, they go and play. D Wade gets hired as the head coach. Team Banana Boat, let's go. Would I like that? No. God, no.
Just ask him.
God, no. What did you ask?
Has Wade said anything about coaching?
No.
He's okay.
No, that's just me throwing something out there that's bringing the Banana Boat together.
Dipping his toe in the water, coaching or not, you know.
I don't see D Wade being the guy I would want to be my head coach. That's all I'm gonna say.
If they pull that draft class back together again, woo!
Well, you got to have Darko on the bench then. You got to bring back Darko.
Darko's like a low-key mob boss back in fucking Europe. Like, no.
Then you got to find Darko Light. You got to have someone on that bench that resembles Darko Milicic.
I don't know who else was in that draft class, but if they could pull back to that.
I think Chris Kaman was in that draft class. Drafted by the Clippers in that one. Or was that fucking Birdman? One of the two. But Dave, moving on, this was kind of dropped before the show. So originally this was going to be like, oh, draft time. We're going to talk fucking other teams. The Rocket one got moved up because of this news. Shams tweeted it. Kind of early discussions, though. It says, the Rockets and Wizards have discussed a deal centered on Russell Westbrook for John Wall. Sources tell The Athletic and Stadium. No traction yet. Rockets are seeking more assets. Dave, does this get done, or is this just a pipe dream?
Who does this help? Why would anyone do this deal as either team?
Mm-hmm.
This helps no one. They're both losers if they make this deal. I'm at a loss. What do you want me to do with this? You hand me a steaming pile of dog shit.
To me, this is the question I have with it, and why it's like, so I could see why the Wizards might want to do. I can see and I don't see why. Because number one, I see why they'd want to do it because Westbrook healthier than John Wall, having him next to Beal, like, okay, we can make that work. I don't know if those two actually work. It could be a same situation that we saw with Westbrook and Harden, two guys that need the ball in their hands. That
Beal doesn't. We've seen that he doesn't, though. That's different.
Like, that's why Beal wouldn't be exactly like Harden, but I could see, like, we've talked about the alpha problem, and now you're just going to change one alpha with a new alpha. The reason why I can't see the Wizards doing it is, like, everything I've seen in draft coverage out of the DC area is that their front office, one of the big things they're looking at in this draft, it's them and the Pistons that I've heard this a lot about, is character. They want a guy whose character is there. So, like, an Isaac Okoro, a Devin Vassell, like, those guys, Tyrese Halliburton, like, these guys that we've mentioned that, like, their character has been listed as one of their strengths, their work ethic, to where it's like, why would I want to bring in Russell Westbrook, who right now, his fault, not his fault, you're the judge, not me, but he's coming from a very toxic situation, to where it's like, if I'm the Wizards, I don't want any part of that, because the thing I'm trying to build here is going to get ruined. And for Houston, it's like, I get the part of, like, you want more assets, but if I'm the Wizards, I'm like, I don't want to give up a ton of assets for Russell Westbrook. I'm giving you John Wall. But he's always hurt, so why would the Rockets want him?
How is Houston a toxic situation?
I'm just saying, like, the whole Harden Westbrook thing that's going on right now.
Yeah, but they're good. That's a problem. Like, everything that's come out has made Russell Westbrook look like the better man.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. Like, I'm not saying that Russ looks bad.
Guy from all signs. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that he's got any rub on him.
Okay.
I think James Harden is the one who claiming, you know, people are claiming
that he wants out
to take criticism.
$50 million.
He the first man ever to decline $50 million to get the fuck out of Dodge.
God,
that should tell you a lot about that organization.
The Josh Hart tweet was perfect, where he was like, 50 mil? Ooh.
Right. Him saying no to that says a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Russell Westbrook is someone who, nothing but positives about him and what he tried to do with that team. Look, he's not always the favorite guy, but he's an honest guy. It kind of gives me a little Jimmy Butler vibes.
Okay.
You fucked up here.
Okay.
You got to fix it. I fucked up here. I'm going to work on fixing it.
Yeah.
Now, if we both work on that, then we're in good shape. If you don't, then I'm pissed at you, and there's a reason why, kind of a thing. And I totally understand that. And I think that's a vibe that has come out from the locker room, from what I've read. So feel free to, whatever me there. But like, those are the stories that I've heard is like Westbrook's always giving 110%. And if you're not, and he calls you out on it, don't be mad.
Like Tim says, Westbrook is a no BS guy.
Yeah. Yeah. He knows what it takes. Now, I think people who are like, he's just there to watch out for himself and his numbers and his triple doubles. I don't think he gives a shit about his triple doubles at the end of the day. Like, he wants to win games. And a lot of the time, he just thinks that the best way to win a game is through the ball in his hands, and he'll make a better decision than you will.
I just, on the Wizard side, though, adding Russ doesn't, like, to me, I'm just in a mental block of, I feel like drafting someone at 9 helps you more than swapping Wall for Westbrook. Unless your plan is to, hey, we don't want to trade Bradley Beal. The Warriors contacted us about Bradley Beal in the second pick. We said, no, go fuck yourself. And we're moving on. We want to keep Bradley Beal. Wall looks good in every, like, hype film we see him right now. Like, yet again, though, like, the injury bug has bugged him before, but like you said, he's looked good. We don't know what we're going to get.
Bug, or is he unlucky? Like, there's
unlucky.
A difference.
I'll say unlucky.
Yeah.
I mean, the curse.
Unlucky. I don't think he's
curse of the Supermax, because he was the first one to sign it, right?
Maybe,
if I'm not mistaken,
he was the first.
Yeah.
But like, again, if it was like, if he had a bad ankle, like Steph has bad ankles, like, I understand
that's
injury prone. He's not. He's been just dumb injuries. But obviously, the Wizards would be expected to give up more here because the contract situation with John Wall, and like, you gotta give up more. And obviously, he's the hurt guy coming back from an injury, so his known thing is different. But like, I can't see that front office in Houston being willing to pay a man that much money, especially after like being like, well, we don't want to be in the luxury tax. We moved on from fucking Boko because he had value and we could like basically cash out his value.
Yeah.
I think they're going to run it back with a cheap ass team to get under the cap. Like, I think that's the plan. So I don't expect a big name to come back. I think it's like, hey, we can move them for a couple small pieces and then move those pieces to get under the cap. And then we're in great shape.
Yeah. I don't see this happening. I just see this as like Houston is trying to get assets because of how many they gave up to get Harden.
They went down the biggest contracts in the NBA. And they're like, who can we call? Oh, the Wizards have a big contract. Let's call them.
Who can we try to fucking swap guys for?
It's that simple that they were literally just looking for who can we try to swap for.
Yeah, so we'll see if this gains any traction. But Dave, before we go on to the draft stuff, just a very quick thing. I didn't make a graphic for this, but I want to get at least one comment about it. For me, I am fucking, and I'm sorry, Ben, who's in Twitch chat, you might want to earmuffs, buddy, for this conversation. I'm laughing my ass off because this has now escalated even more, Dave. As first it started out with just Kemba. Now it is from so it's the New England Sports Network. The Celtics reportedly are frantically looking to trade Gordon Hayward and Kemba Walker in hopes that it will help them land James Harden. Should the like Dave, it brings me a smile to my face of like, they're frantically looking to trade these guys. And then I love it how the other side, where everything I've seen from Boston fans on Twitter are like, no, don't trade for James Harden. I don't want James Harden anywhere near this team. You like this young nucleus we have? Keep them. We're good with them.
Well, they're not going anywhere. They're talking about getting rid of the scumbag that is known as Kemba Walker.
Yeah.
And Gordon Hayward, the walking unluckiest man in the
world. Does adding James Harden to Tatum and Brown help things, or does it just make things worse? Is it like adding Kyrie 2.0? No, because that's what I've seen. I've seen people comparing him to what Kyrie was to this young roster.
No, he's not that bad of a guy. Kyrie Irving's like borderline insane. There's a difference. Like James Harden, beard, he is literally, we're watching one of the best offensive players of all time play, and people just don't give him the respect for it. Kyrie Irving literally has like some really fucked up ideas floating around that head of his. Like, I don't know. There's emotional instability there. James Harden, No, he is who he is. You understand it. You know him. I think this is like a Boston realizes that if they go down against the Nets because the Nets got James Harden basically for free without a fight, they will look horrible. Horrible. And so this is a situation where their hand is being forced by the Nets. And even the Sixers to an extent, even though Daryl Morey will never get a deal done because he is hated by that Rockets front office now. The spite is there. It's real.
So JD, resident Celtic fan from the Discord, says it already came out saying the Celtics have lost interest in Harden. I'll believe it when I see it.
Sure you did. You want to start a loser?
But this came out 3 minutes ago, Dave, from Tim McMahon, ESPN. The Rockets' asking price for James Harden is a young star and a massive amount of draft picks.
A massive amount of draft picks.
That's exactly how it's written. A massive amount of draft picks.
What if the Thunder were just like, fuck it.
We're bringing him back.
Fuck it. We'll run with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Who's the young star that they would trade?
Kelly Oubre.
Danny Green.
Kelly Oubre. And a bunch of first rounders. They literally can afford a bunch of first rounders. Them or the Pelicans.
I look at the Nets deal that I'm not even going to say us, you concocted. And it's like, you can literally get that, can't you? Karras is a young star. You'd also get fucking, who else was in that deal? You had Prince was in that deal. And then I think
Prince.
Yeah.
And I think you said somebody
there were
else.
4 players.
Rodions maybe.
Oh yeah. So Allen. So you had Allen, Levert, Prince, and Rodions with the 4 players, and then a massive amount of picks. Like, the Nets can get this done.
Exactly.
The Nets can get this done.
Balls in their court. So
it's just, I saw it trending, and I was like, we have to mention it.
Celtics are sore losers, They're trying to scramble to get the pieces together to move, and nobody wants a broken Gordon Hayward. Nobody wants a scumbag Kemba Walker.
The hinges are falling off the war chest, Dave. The war chest is falling apart, Dave. Before we go into draft, though, we do have to acknowledge we do have 2 wet boys today. The dampest of dudes, soggiest of shooters, moistest of men, and sometimes the mistiest of misses. If you're new to what Wet Boys is, these are our players of the day from the day before, or if something happened, like, what was it, Kim Ong and then Sam Presti made some moves prior to the show. They have gotten Wet Boy honor, so we're modifying this Wet Boys as we move along, but today we have 2 Wet Boys, myself and the patrons. Want to give some props to people from the Monday Night Football game last night. Mine, I don't want to give him props because I don't want him to be the quarterback of my team in the future. I know Bears fans are going to say, Ricky, shut up. At least you have one. You
have a quarterback.
Yeah, I'd rather have no quarterback because then I can get Trevor Lawrence. But Kirk Cousins had a good game. I saw a stat yesterday where he was phenomenal on 3rd down last night. So I have to give props where props are due. Captain Kirk played really good last night, although there's now the video circling where everyone's like, remember when Kirk Cousins almost missed the throw on his gender reveal because he almost missed that, which would have been funny. And then the patrons going with his favorite target from last night. Didn't get in the end zone, but Justin Jefferson having 135 yards, 8 receptions on 10 targets, and had a 54-yard catch in the game. Had an average of 16.9. Really like the development from Justin Jefferson. Maybe he'll start to develop into a number 1 target. We're seeing a lot more yards from him than Adam Thielen, but those are the guys wanted to give love to on this beautiful November 17th from that Vikings win last night. And Dave, I wanted to move quickly through Wet Boys because we got draft topics to get through. The draft is tomorrow. If you're tuning into this, I will say this at the beginning of every topic from now on because these will be individually on YouTube as well. Join us for the draft tomorrow night, 5:45 Central Time is when we'll go live. Dave, we talked about the Pelicans-Bucks deal. We talked about the Bucks side. The Pelicans side, they get the 24th pick in this draft. They now have, I think it's the 13th pick and the 24th pick in the first round of this draft. What do they do with the 24th? Are they going to sit here and pick? Or is this hey, now I can package 13 and 24 or package 24 and another player and move up in this draft if they really like someone?
I'd love them to move up in this draft. That's my thing. It's like they're a young team. They've already got a handful of guys that are still working on developing. Like 2 more again this year wouldn't be a problem, but like if you go up there and get one of those blue chip prospects at the top of this draft, it could be worth it. A lot of people talking a lot of shit about how this draft is bad and next year's going to be great. Next year could be great. We all love next year's draft because it's not happening right now. And a lot of the prospects haven't been exposed by playing people with the ability to be above 5'9" and, have athletic talent to them. So we'll wait and see on that front. We don't even know if we're going to get to see basketball in the spring. Yeah. TBD. TBD on the bubble in Indy. But yeah, I'm hoping New Orleans moves up. I think that best case move up, worst case, hey, stay as is. There's still good guys to take. Like, look, if they can land a legit combo guard at 13, and then they just go depth at the wing at 24, like long-term project piece. Maybe they go Poku. Maybe this enables them to go Poku at 13.
I mean,
shock some people.
See, so you said combo guard. Like, if you're going combo guard, I feel like you don't go Poku at 13. The only reason why think that is there's going to be at 13 more prime combo guards than later on in the draft.
Maxi's the only one really who I expect to fall that low.
I mean, RJ Hampton could be there. You could.
Oh yeah, RJ would be.
You could see RJ, Hayes, Kira.
I'm sorry,
and then
I'm an idiot.
Maxey.
RJ Hampton is what, Ricky? Is he athletic?
He's very athletic. Yeah,
I think that
he can shoot the ball too.
I think they might go for that then. That's I like Maxey. I like RJ there. I think Poku's still honestly like.
Yeah.
Might be the guy though.
His career trajectory.
The more I'm watching this like dumb comparisons of like Poku and like everything he could be, and it's like, well, if you're so high on, again, I mentioned it yesterday, you're so high on Chet, why aren't you high on Pokusevsky? Like, great question, man. I don't know.
Good question.
Because it's Europe, maybe.
So 13. I think they stay at 13. I don't think that because like I'm trying to look at the teams above them, and like. I could see them moving up to 7. I could see them basically doing a deal that is 13 and 24 to move up to 7. If Patrick Williams ain't there and the Pistons don't want Halliburton or something, they could basically try to move up.
Taken before 7. I will lose my shit tomorrow if Patrick Williams gets picked before 7 because I've heard the rumors of the Bulls and I don't want to hear it.
No. Here's the rumor that I'm seeing circulating, and this is the only reason. Okay. It kind of takes 2 rumors, puts them together. So the one rumor is that the T-Wolves are trying to work with the Hawks to get the 6th pick. Why do you think they want the 6th pick? Well, it's come out that one of the guys they really like is Patrick Williams. And the only way they do that is trade up for him. So that's why the Culver and 17 for the 6th, if that happens, I think Williams gets taken at 6. And he's a Minnesota Timberwolf. Then... And the Pistons, it all comes down to, well, is it just next one on the board, which I think would be Tyrese Halliburton, because the Pistons, along with the Wizards, are another team. Weaver has talked a lot about, he wants a guy with character. That's one of the top things, and Halliburton's a guy where people have talked very highly about his character, about how he works. So, like, if Williams is gone, the Pelicans call, they say, hey, we want to make a deal. They go up and get a Killian Hayes, get a fucking Tyrese Halliburton, and the Pistons, like, that's the thing. Would the Pistons like 2 picks or 3 picks, if we're talking Boston, rather than the 7?
Boston. Remember, Boston's already offered Kemba Walker, Gordon Hayward, and all 3 picks to move up. So, like,
don't forget Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum's in that deal, too.
Jason Tatum, potentially Marcus Smart. They're going to keep Jaylen Brown, though. That's really their core. I can rip on Boston all day.
Grant Williams is he's the spark plug of that team.
Linchpin on that team. Can't move him, won't move him. Untradeable.
Boston fans, we love, like, that's the thing I will say. People from Chicago might not get this.
It's a hate relationship. Like, it's great.
Well, people from outside Chicago might not get this. When we love you and like we love our fans, Chicagoans, we just rib each other back and forth. It's constant ribbing. That's how you know you're liked when you're in Chicago, when you got people making fun of you. I don't see anyone above the Pelicans at 13 being like, yeah, I really want the 13th and the 24th. To where my move is if they have a player in the 24th.
Yeah, what's that player though? Like, who is that guy?
That's the problem.
They don't have like.
I mean, I wouldn't trade a Josh Hart unless it's like what's his name? Fucking Williams. Is that his name? Let me see. Pelicans spot rack. Because, like, really, Zion's untouched. Ooh.
BI is going to get a max.
No, not Zion.
I said BI.
Oh, BI, yeah. Could they... Okay, I'm going to ask this, and this is going to sound very stupid.
Alexander
Walker. If a Kungwu falls, could they try to package Hayes with their 2 picks to move up and get a Kungwu and match a Kungwu next to Zion?
How high did Hayes go last year?
I think he was top 10.
I don't think
he was at 10.
Picks then.
Okay. Then like Hayes in 24, would that work?
Like 10 or something?
Let's see. Jackson Hayes. He went 8th overall. I'm sorry, 8th overall.
You don't have to trade 2 picks and him to move into the top 10.
Like, that's the thing. And the only reason why
He's not Obama. He is not an abomination to the center position.
The question then we'll get to is,
I love Obama.
Would the Pelicans think about moving on from a Hayes, or is it too early to tell because he was a rookie? Okay.
There's nothing to... They love him. He's energy in a bottle, man. He's basically like a long, lanky, athletic.
Was it Shaq Harrison he completely destroyed in Summer League, Dave?
No,
we watched him murder him.
Center.
That's it, yeah.
It was because I thought it was Gafford at first, but then Gafford and him had a competition of who could yam on who harder, and that was the greatest game of Summer League I think I've ever seen.
Except for the Zion, where he ripped the ball out of Kevin Knox's hands and sent Kevin Knox back to the G.
Poor Kevin Knox.
Like, you think about it, that might have been the downfall of Kevin Knox's season. Like, after getting that ball.
Like, how do you recover from that mentally?
The young Rook comes in and rips the ball out of your hands. But, like...
That game, there were so many great memories from that time. Point being, no, Jackson Hayes is not someone you would give up on. I understand
what about Nikhil?
Nikhil, I would consider. He's someone who... He was very boomer bust. He hit his stride like in one game, and then he was just abysmal for like 10 games. I think he's got good potential still, but I could easily see them packaging him to move forward in this draft class.
Yeah, the only guys I look at that are contracts that are not restricted free agents, because they have a ton of restricted free agents this year. Besides like Hart, Reddick, Lonzo, all untouchable. But like Nikhil, Darius Miller, Nico Melli, those are the 3 that I could see moving, but who wants them?
Floor spacer then next design, like you can't miss that. That's the problem. So if you do move on from him, you need to pick up like a Jalen Smith in the draft, or you need to get someone who has that ability to space the floor.
Could Poku be that? Poku's not a spacer though, right? He's more of like a I was gonna say he's more of like everything I've seen is like people compare him to Ben Simmons, Giannis.
Spacer.
Okay.
No, so Ben Simmons and Giannis are great.
Like the ball handling thing is what I've seen. Okay.
Poku plays more like a guard who has shooting tendencies, where Chet is more in that Ben Simmons and Giannis. Even Leandro Bolmero, like he's more of the drive and kick or drive and lay in kind of guy.
Okay.
Jaden McDaniels is great and all, but
Dave's like, don't come to me about Jaden McDaniels, okay, son?
I will tell you about Jaden McDaniels.
Dave loves him, by the way.
I do. BI is basically everything Jaden McDaniels wishes he could be, and that's why I don't think he fits on the Pelicans.
Yeah,
because that role is already taken by someone who's much better than you. So I don't think that he's the right fit for this team. I think a team like the Thunder we mocked before would be an excellent spot for him, somewhere where he has the ability to have that ball in his hands. But this team, you got mouths to feed. Zion and BI have to have the ball in their hands.
Yeah.
Obviously, Lonzo is one of those quick touch passers. He's not someone who's out there to dribble the ball into the ground until there's 4 seconds left and then dish it and hope that his team bails him out of that poor decision. So I would 100% be okay with going with a Poku. I would 100% Jalen Smith. I think any stretch bigs, even if they do take like a Tilly in the second round, that would be fine. Yeah. But they need stretch big, or a stretch wing if they're moving on from Melli. Because again, he was basically like a filler for our boy, Nico.
Yeah.
And I love Nico. And again, Nico was like, look, if you give me the ball, I can be more than just a stand behind the 3-point line gunner. And he proved it when he went back to Europe. So, like, they need someone. Saddiq Bey would be incredible for them.
Yeah, the only thing...
13, and I know no one thinks he will, but if he falls to 13 on draft night, Ricky, what's your favorite line on draft night? What are you
gotta run. You gotta run it right up to the podium, Dave.
Run that ticket right up to the
podium. Makes me sound old as dirt, by the way, because they don't run tickets up to the podium anymore.
No one's there. I mean, that's especially now. But
hypothetical here.
Yes.
If you're the Pelicans, do you try to move 13? Would 13 and 24 be enough? I don't know. Do you try to move with the Suns to get to 10? To get Saddiq Bey, because I think that Saddiq, my first team to watch would be the Spurs. If the Spurs don't take him, the Kings, if they pass on him, would be stupid.
Why? They just added another 4. They said Ersan Ilyasova.
Yeah, I would say Saddiq is more of a 3 than a 4. Yeah, 3 and D wing. That's what he is. Yeah, I would say more of a 3 than a 4.
There are a lot of concerns about his lateral movement.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, again, like he's got things that need to be developed.
2.0 to me.
Okay.
Like and again, everybody's gonna see something different until we see him in the NBA. So
true,
that's totally
good point.
fine.
I just
that was 3 that I got off him.
If you think Kira is gonna be there at 13,
Kira could go at 8 for all we fucking know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If Kira's on the board at 10, if you're the Suns, do you just take him at 10, or do you think, hey, we can trade back, get an extra pick, add to this team, and get the guy we want at 13 rather than 10? And then the Pelicans can move up, get Saddiq at 10.
If Kira falls to 10, they take him at 10. You can't gamble. Even if you call up 11, 12 and be like, who are you taking? You sure? Are you sure you're not trading that pick? Because if Kira falls to 12, you can't guarantee the Kings.
I wouldn't even trust that in any draft, because I wouldn't trust anybody to tell the truth.
Well, there's that, but like it's the Kangs gonna Kangs, you know?
Yeah.
And like we've heard rumors that they're ready to consider, drafting Kira even with De'Aaron Fox there.
I can't make the man, now that Vlade's not there, I can't make the joke that, man, you know who the Kings are gonna take? They'll take Jan Madur from
Jan Matter is great.
Matter, that's it. Second round talent though, Dave, going that early in the first. I can't make that joke anymore.
He could be first round talent.
He could be. We never know.
How much you watch yourself?
Moving on, Dave. This is gonna be one that's a little touchy.
Everything isn't touchy this show. You put me on the Bears track to start the show, Ricky. There's no coming back.
The Bulls. No. Only the Bulls.
No.
So
if you say the scumbag's name, I will end my cam and I will just walk off the show.
No, don't be like that. So I'm not saying taking Williams at 4. Here's my thought to this.
That's not scumbag.
Oh, no, I don't want fucking Kemba. Who the fuck wants Kemba? No, this is all.
Also, fans apparently think we're idiots and would trade that.
AK, I believe in you. You're not John Paxton or Gar Forman.
Okay, swindled.
But basically, the rumor is that the Bulls, and this comes from the Bulls website, of maybe they trade the 4th overall pick. I know overall the Bulls have been tight-lipped. Nobody knows what the Bulls are going to do. I fucking love it. Love it. Don't let me know what you're going to do. Don't let anyone know what you're going to do. And there have been teams that have said they would love to be in the Bulls' position. Basically, let everyone above us fuck up, and then we decide what to do. But there is rumors circulating about maybe the Bulls trade, because we don't know. Like, the T-Wolves say they could take Edwards at first, but there are people out there that are going, yeah, but LaMelo's the best prospect, and Denny Abdia is actually the best fit for that team. Like, there are people out there saying that Edwards would not be the best pick for that team. I don't know if I'm on board for the Bulls trading the pick, Dave, but the thing I thought of today is with the rumors of, are the Bulls high on Patrick Williams, and will the Bulls take him at 4? Is this more of a thing of, if the Bulls are interested in Patrick Williams, which to me, if they're interested in Williams, I think there's some intel out there that Denny's going in the top 3. That's what I think. I think the Bulls like Denny. Maybe that's just us thinking, oh, AK international. But like,
again, if Denny goes top 3, you're telling me the LaMelo Ball might be available at 4.
Maybe the Bulls don't like LaMelo.
Like,
what if the Bulls don't like him?
You and me kind of went through that circle of there's 4 players in the top 4, or are there? If Denny's not there for the Bulls, that should mean Wiseman, LaMelo, or Edwards is there. Now, out of those 3 picks, who would you not want to have over anyone else in this draft? That's the question you have to ask.
Here's
would
what
you not take Wiseman, even though we have 2 centers?
Yes, I wouldn't take Wiseman.
I would probably still take a Wiseman. Okay. I'll be honest. I would still take Wiseman. Would I take Anthony Edwards? That's the fucking question that I don't have an answer to. I don't think I would. He's not top 4 on my big board. So I can't say that I would take him at 4. I would consider a different player at that point. So it's tough.
The thing that I fear is that if it's true and the Bulls are like interested in Patrick Williams, I think that fears that we might see a situation of Denny goes 1 to the T-Wolves or someone trades up with the T-Wolves. LaMelo Ball goes to the Warriors and Edwards goes to the Hornets, because although everything I've seen is that Wiseman, Okongwu, one of those is going to be the Hornets.
Yeah.
Apparently, there was news from this week, Dave, that Edwards doing a workout with the Hornets. Guess who just showed up to the workout?
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan just showed up.
Shocked.
And that's the only time he's done that this year. Apparently didn't know they were doing a workout with Anthony Edwards, which to me, I'm like, really?
That adds up that someone like Michael Jordan would be out of touch with his team bringing in the top shooting guard of a draft class.
So like I'm
taking the opportunity to get an eye up and close.
I'm looking at that going, maybe the Hornets are taking Edwards. So to me, I'm thinking Abdia, Ball, Edwards, Wiseman's the next best at 4. And it's like, I know people are like, the way people ship people on Twitter, people are shipping Wendell Carter out of town already. Like every Bulls trade is like Wendell here, Wendell there, Wendell here. Well, you get a Wendell, everybody gets a Wendell. Which I don't really know. Like,
because does that mean that no one wants Lowry? Or does that mean that
I just think it's Bulls
Wendell for some reason?
I think it's Bulls fans being Bulls fans. But like if you had to, I think Bulls fans are telling us if you have the choice, and we're Bulls fans, like if you have the choice, they want Lowry over Wendell. Like that's what they're telling. And like with me, I think AK is looking at this roster. When people we had the conversation, who's untouchable? And there's a part of me that wants to say, nobody's untouchable. I think this is the same situation as the Kings. None of these players are AKs. So like,
I said Kobe White, and like, I love our commenters, but there was a commenter on YouTube who was like, you guys don't look like you play basketball. I understand why you guys thought that only he was off limits.
Yeah, because only people that play basketball can talk about basketball.
100% agree. 100%
I mean, do you think Windhorse fucking played basketball? Like, he might have, but like, do you think Windhorse is still yamming it up at the Y? Doesn't look like
comment. No comment.
Windhorst, I love you. Looks like someone said he looks like Peter Griffin, which made me laugh on fucking Twitter. They're like, love Windhorst, but we're not gonna lie, he does look like Peter Griffin, right? But I mean, for me, I feel like the Bulls, if you're sitting there, if Williams is there, why not try to get a trade? Like I thought today while doing like a mock Dave of, if Denny's not there for the Bulls, if Denny or Ball are not there for the Bulls at 4.
Yeah, do we trade back?
Would you not take a trade from the Celtics and take 3 picks over 1? If they were like, here's all of our first-round picks to get Onyeka or Williams at 1, would you not do that? Would you not do another trade of like, this team's like, hey, I got multiple firsts here? I think I would do that rather than taking like one guy at number 4.
The problem is that, again, if your big board says it's Avdia or LaMelo 1, 2, either order, and then maybe Halliburton at 3, Patrick Williams at 4, Hayes at 5, kind of a deal.
Yeah.
Like trading all the way back to 14 is your first pick. It depends on who you got left on that big board, because that's a long way back now. That's a big jump. And I understand 3 picks for a team that is as bad as the Bulls could be is a lot. But also, you got to look at the side of, if we all play together with a head coach, we could be fighting for the 8th spot in the East.
Do you want that, though? I don't want that. I don't want that just because of what we could see now. Like, there's a part of me that's like, I want the Bulls to suck this year because I want one of those high picks in next year's class. Now, maybe that's a rose-tinted glasses
I want Cunningham. I want Jonathan Kuminga, you know.
But, like, we don't even know how deep. Next year's class could be good deep, which would be the double one.
It's supposed to be very good deep.
So, like, really, if you're 8th seed, you might still be getting a good pick. Maybe by that time, we are looking to ship Zach and can ship Zach and our pick while making the playoffs and get a top pick. That's for a future discussion, though. I don't want people... The comment section just with that alone will be like, you're shipping Zach? No!
We're not tanking for a very bad basketball team. There's a difference. We didn't do this intentionally.
And for King Me, Denny isn't going number one. You guys have nothing to worry about. I wouldn't say that. I don't think there's any for sure number one.
Well, like, Melo could go one and Denny could go two.
Totally could. I think Melo, I think Melo should go number one on talent alone. The only thing is I don't know about his fit with D'Lo. Like, that's my only thing that makes me kind of...
It's super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
Yeah, I mean, I don't... Like, I could
move on from Malik Beasley, obviously.
I could see where the T-Wolves are in trouble here because the top two prospects on my board, one, I don't like the fit with D'Lo. The other, I don't like the fit with Cat. That's the problem they're in with me. Where Denny, I feel like there's a lot of... Will they
Denny
make
this? Fits.
Will they make this pick? No, but he fits. Yes, is there things he needs to work on? Yes, he fits.
Dude, ESPN was pumping the 2013 draft all over again. Like, is this the Anthony Bennett draft all over again? When Cleveland didn't know, Cleveland was literally on the clock, and there were 3 minutes left, and someone called up asking about trade, and they're like, "Well, who would you guys be picking? Like, if you didn't trade back?" And he's like, "I don't know." Like, we're still talking about it. Like, well, you're on.
That's
you have 3 minutes left on the clock right now, and the guy literally said, "I don't know." Like, what?
I've been saying this since the beginning, Dave. I could see that all over again, especially with the following that Anthony Edwards has.
Does this mean that we're all overthinking this, and like they're gonna be like the Cleveland Cavs of yesteryear and take someone who no one thought was a top 3 pick or a top 4 pick?
They could take Do they take Patrick Williams at 1? Do they hear?
No.
No. Listen, I'm not saying this is complete speculation.
Yeah.
The Bulls want him at 4. Oh yeah, but we want Patrick Williams. We're looking to trade up with the Hawks. Fuck it, just take him at 1. Could they panic and do that? Like you said, honestly, take someone who's not there.
Honestly, it'll be hilarious. But yeah, I'm at that point where I'm like, I wonder.
I wouldn't hate it, but I would hate it at 1. There's a difference there.
There's no consensus 1 overall. Nobody outside of Cleveland apparently thought that Anthony Bennett would be the number 1 overall, but their internal scouting team said, this is our guy. So I wonder if the same could happen again.
Yeah.
Could they run it back and be like, hey, we really love Onyeka Okongwu. We think that that's our guy next to Cat, or we really love fucking Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah,
we think he is the best. He's the bee's knees out there. Like
bee's knees.
Is that something that could happen in this draft?
The cat's pajamas, Dave.
Cat's piano.
The cat's piano too.
Like, there are a lot of great questions and no answers right now. Actually, I love this time of year, you know?
The other trade, because I've seen numerous trades for the Bulls.
My answer is, if you have to move back, don't move back out of range of your 3 top guys on the big board. Like that's
Boston intrigues me, and only because of this. We could be like with the 3 picks. If you're thinking like, oh well, we're gonna be out, like, and maybe this is a me personal thing with this. Number 1 is, if you're like, oh, well, we want one of the guards. I don't know. The more I look at the guards, there's not a big gap to me between like RJ and Hallie, or Kira and Hallie, or even like fucking Tyrell Terry, or like even if we go
from the Church of Tyrell Terry, I appreciate that.
Tyrell Terry. Basically, what I'm saying is
Tyrell Terry, RJ Hampton, Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
Like, my tier 1 is obviously LaMelo Ball. Tier 2 is Hallie, Terry, and then RJ.
Okay.
Like, I've already leaped. Like, Kira somehow is 4th on that list. Like, I've uber valued going for guards.
Would you take Buddy Hield the 12th and something else for the 4th?
I mean, I feel like it's the Kings, so maybe I could get next year's first rounder out of them too.
Top 3 protected, go. I'll give you a top 3, top 5 protection. Like, I'll still fucking take that pick.
Top 1 overall protected. Fuck them.
Fuck them. But, like,
I know they have new front office and whatever, but, like, I would still try to swindle.
Yeah,
we don't need Buddy Hield. Mm-hmm. We don't. That's the problem.
We don't. That would be. I'd get a Hield Bulls jersey. I would have to.
We would flip Buddy Hield to like the Magic.
Mm-hmm. Good point. Well,
and we would take the Magic's Aaron Gordon and Markelle Fultz, because I'm an asshole and I want Markelle Fultz on my team. So they could come all the way up and take. Wait, that'd be 12. The Magic be at 12 and 15. Then they could package those two up and go get a Kira Lewis Jr. or some shit like that. Like, it would be a piece towards another piece kind of thing if we got Buddy.
So because you brought that up, I'm just gonna quickly end this of the reason why the Celtic one intrigues me. Of more picks, the guard thing is deep for me. We could possibly get a Pokusevski with one of those picks. Like the AK and his scouting, I think they have scouted the entire board. They should have. Because they know what's available to them.
This is not a Ryan Pace scouting job here. We're not going to look at one quarterback and be like, that's it. Job's done, boys. Wrap it up.
I would almost be happy if the Celtics called us and wanted to give us all 3 of their picks because of what AK could do with those Romeo picks. Langford. I'd take that too. The reason why I want to move on to the last one, Dave, is you brought up the Magic. Well, this goes hand in hand with rumors and then something I tossed into Discord today. So, and I hope this does not open on my Discord screen because I have pictures of it in my downloads. But basically the rumor is the Magic want to package the 15th and Aaron Gordon to try to get the number 1 pick from the T-Wolves. And who they would be taking with that, in my mind, is LaMelo Ball. Like, that's who they're packaging. Like, the rumor doesn't say who they'd get. The rumor is just they want to try to trade Aaron Gordon on the 15th for the number 1. Now, the thing I was thinking of, and this is what I threw into Discord, if I can find it, is basically I had 3 modified trades of this as we're talking in Discord. My original one was... So it was a 3-team trade. I added the Hawks into this because the other rumor that we mentioned was the T-Wolves apparently want to move the rumored trade is Culver and the 17th to move up to 6.
Yep.
So what I did was this. I said, okay, the Magic, you're going to get, at first it was Kevin Huerter and the number 1 pick. I originally changed that and dropped Huerter from this, so you can do that, but Huerter, number 1 pick, go to the Magic. For the T-Wolves, they get Aaron Gordon. Because they're giving the number 1 pick, they also get the 2021 pick from the Magic, but it is top 10 protected. Reason why I did that was, if I'm the T-Wolves, I don't want to miss out on next year's class. The Magic still get a protect.
Their pick next year.
Well, no, that's why. I don't have my pick. I don't want to miss out on it. I want the Magic pick. But the protection also gives the Magic the option of, if our team just gets injured and we suck, we still have our pick. But at the same time, losing Aaron Gordon, this team could make the playoffs or be outside the top 10.
Yeah, I'd say Jonathan Isaac is missing the entire season or the majority of the season.
We don't know what to think about the bottom of the East, though. Like, outside the top 7, it's a crapshoot. I would say, the Nets get better because they're adding KD and Kyrie. They were 7th last year.
Yeah.
Like, I think,
it's depressing.
But, basically, then the T-Wolves get Aaron Gordon, that protected pick for 2021, the 6th pick from Atlanta, because they're going to take the 16th from Orlando, ship that to the Hawks with Jared Culver. So, basically, it's the Hawks move a couple picks up. It was, 14, I think? I said 16. That was off. Yeah. 14, 15 instead of, 17. They get a few picks higher. And basically, through Discord, my first thought was, is this stupid? Because I asked Soapy last night, could the Magic have a trade with Gordon for number 1? And Soapy was like, no, you're out of your mind. The other deal that we then talked about in Discord was, is Culver and wherever the fucking Magic are 15? Is 15 and Culver enough for the 6th? Or would a Josh Okogie or a Malik Beasley need to be added to that deal for it to work? And would it be worth it for all three parties?
If they could sign and trade Malik, I mean,
well, that's what it would be. It would be a sign and trade. It would be the T-Wolves at 1 would pick for the Magic, and then the Hawks at 6 would pick for the T-Wolves, and 15 the Magic would pick for the Hawks.
You're assuming Pat Williams would be the 6th overall pick?
Yes, I'm assuming LaMelo would go 1, Williams would be at 6, and then the Hawks do whatever you want at 15. Because really the Hawks are getting Malik Beasley and Jarrett Culver, which is what they want more to help Trey compete.
Yeah. That'd be interesting. I mean, it's a lot of moving pieces, a little hard to follow without a graphic, I'll be honest.
Yeah, well, fuck it. I'll do this. I got you, Dave. I got you covered.
Okay. If you can safely do it. Whoa.
Does that work?
There we go. Yeah, that's perfect,
actually. There you go. So this was trade 1 with Kevin Huerter.
Okay.
In Discord, we talked, and basically, like, even after I sent it, I was like, but wait, why would the Hawks be sending Huerter when they're moving down in the draft?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
To where we did that, and then the third one was basically, oh, well, do the Hawks need more? And then that's when, like, and if I'm the T-Wolves, I'll ask you, because I didn't even know this, of if the Hawks are like, I need more, if you're the T-Wolves, are you moving on from Okogie, or are you sign and trading Beasley?
Yeah, I think I would sign and trade Beasley. Okay. I would say the character issues is a question mark, but the defense of Okogie, like he's a Swiss Army knife out there. So I like the idea of that. Culver's a question mark. Obviously, he had a disappointing first year, but he started to shine a little bit with his defensive ability, which again, defense for the Hawks. You get your tweener guy for defense. You get a guy who can light up on the offensive end and give you 20 points a night if he needs to. Like, Hawks get a win here, and they still keep a pick in the first round. Timberwolves get Aaron Gordon, incredibly athletic, great pairing, and perhaps Pat Williams. So that could be just a fucking phenomenal 3-4-5 for them. Very interested to see what happens there. And the Magic could get whoever they want to. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I think it's a win all around.
If you're the Magic, are you in my thinking, if the Magic did go to 1, would they be taking LaMelo Ball with that pick?
Anthony Edwards is a strong consideration for them.
Okay.
And again, like, they want to go with Chuma and Jonathan Isaac as their 3-4 of the future.
Okay.
Or 4-3, whatever order you want to put them in.
Is Vuce then a for sure stay, you think, or is he even on the chopping?
Obama's a goddamn joke, so you can't walk away from an all-star center.
I was just thinking, like, could there be a possibility of them drafting Wiseman and then trying to move Vuce?
I dig that. What if they draft Wiseman at 1, trade Vuce for 2?
To the Warriors! They get LaMelo! I would take LaMelo. I'm sorry. I like LaMelo better, but I know Anthony Edwards fans are out there.
No, he would fit. I mean, I agree with you. LaMelo's a better player, but like Anthony Edwards fit on that team would be great. And I love Markelle Fultz, so I don't know if I could put somebody over him, but you can't have 2 point guards on that team who can't shoot. Send Markelle Fultz to be on the trade block. It'd be interesting, man. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, it's fire. I think the 3 teams are all rumored to be moving. I think they're all rumored to be interested partners, and this fulfills some need for each one of them.
Yeah. I do agree with Kingy, though. At the end of the day, I think the T will stay pat at 1. I think like Kingy says, I think the Wolves won't find a deal they like, so they'll stay put at 1 and try to package 17 and Culver. I see that happening because at 1, it's like, what's the price? What's the price for this number 1? Because this number 1 is not like past number 1s. Like, this wasn't like, oh, you're getting Zion at 1. It's just not like that. So, any final thoughts, Dave, on anything we did talk about?
I feel pretty good about this going into draft day. I just keep F5 on the subreddit. The problem is people just post fake trades now, and it's like time to ban everybody from that subreddit from posting. It's a little frustrating. You can't react to anything. You got to check out the trusted Twitters.
Yep. Shams.
Shams is a trusted Twitter. You can't trust those fake boys. Too many fake posts claim to be shams, and they're not shams. So be safe out there going into draft night. Can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. Massive draft day. Huge plans. Huge day for everybody. Can't wait.
The only thing I'm seeing with Twitter trends is Tatum is trending. A discussion on whether Jason Tatum will be included in any deals emerges as Heavy.com senior writer Brandon Robinson reported that the Celtics are interested in a trade with James Harden. So, getting on.
I mean, you got to also consider the fact that Kyle Kuzma suspended his Twitter because of the haters.
Yeah, because of the haters, man.
Kyle Kuzma also on the move.
Kyle Kuzma, like, if anyone shouldn't have gotten a ring on that team, it was Kyle Kuzma in my mind. But that's a debate I'll get into another day. But thank you guys for everything you do. Remember, if you're not in the greatest community on the internet, make sure to join it today. Discord, that link down below in the description. You can also join it by putting !Discord into your Twitch chat right now. If you want to support us, patreon.com/MVP vids. So you go ahead and do that. Or if you're on Twitch, you can just !Patreon. Link down below if you're on YouTube. Again, we're on Twitch every Monday through Friday. Twitch.tv/MVP vids. Tomorrow's a little bit later. It'll be about 5:45 because MVP Sports Live is just doing we're watching the draft along with you guys. Can't wait for that. Tomorrow's such an easy day topic-wise and everything. Like even Games Live. There is no topics there. Games Live, we already know the Game Award nominees are coming out, so I basically don't have to do work heading into both shows. So I'm excited about that. And also we're on YouTube, MVP Sports. Also, I will throw this out there because it was put at the top of the show. Follow us on Twitter. I'm at Ricky Widmer, at Dave_don't_tweet. And you got to follow our man, Soapy Muffin, at Muffin Soapy. So go ahead, follow us all, and make sure to do as you always do. Comment, like, sub. Thank you guys for everything. And as always, have a good day, everybody.